Hello class, welcome to our week 14 video with regard to our essays and rhetorical strategies for the academic argument. I'll be posting videos with discussions of the essays from last week's reading shortly after this one. The key is for academic argument number 3. You got two things to focus on, either or both. Domestic surveillance, or any kind of surveillance for that matter, versus privacy. When you think about surveillance, it's the ultimate logos, right? It should be factual, whether it's watching, listening, reading. Notice the parallelism there. Watching, ing, listening, ing, reading. So the question is, what kind of surveillance do you want to focus on? Is it enhancing our society, making it better? Is it undermining? Is it making it worse, violating our privacy? Or is it a little bit of both? Anytime people are watching, listening, or reading, any type of surveillance. You want to write about reality TV, watching. You want to write about public traffic cameras, private cameras, police car cameras, email surveillance, government surveillance, phone surveillance, text message surveillance, social media surveillance, doxing. You have a lot of options here because, as we know, everything's an argument and there's two sides to it. Is it making our society safer? Okay, yes. Or, and or, right? Is it both? Two, is it violating our privacy? You've got the Bill of Rights, you've got our constitutional rights, constitutional amendments, right? Any kind of surveillance, any kind of watching, listening, or reading, okay? And the key here, the reason why it's set up, it's ripe for an argument, is the idea of privacy. You could look at the Patriot Act. You could look at 9/11. I mean, if you go on the opposing viewpoints database, in the library database, right? If you click on O, opposing viewpoints, it's my favorite database. I mention it all the time in our readings and assignments page. If you go on that database and you click on issues, there's like 5 or 6 pages that are ready for this. Just like for essay 1, you could have clicked on vegetarianism and then all the articles came out. Essay 2, click on stereotyping, gender identity, LGBTQIA issues. Right? They had a database set up for number 2. Same for number 3. You can click on 9/11 attacks. You can click on the Patriot Act or search the Patriot Act. Remember, you can click on any of the topics or you can type in manually. I know there's a page for social media. I know there's a page for reality TV. I know there's a page for Facebook. Again, you have a lot of freedom. Make sure it's an academic argument. If you want to start by doing a rhetorical analysis of one of the essays you've read, either from our reading in the book or from the opposing viewpoints database, like you did in academic argument essay number 1 with the Kathy Freston essay, that's fine. You could start with a rhetorical analysis and then move forward with your response. If you want to begin with your claim and then bring in your sources and start with your response, so to speak, rather than the rhetorical analysis of a source, that's fine too. You have a lot of freedom. You'll notice for the last 2 essays, as for essay 1, right? The first one on the environment and vegetarianism, the second one on stereotyping, and this one on surveillance and privacy, you could technically write the essays just using, right, the readings from the book and the schedule as your secondary sources. So feel free to use them. This is the key. Remember to document your sources correctly. So, page 445. Set up your quotes correctly, either a complete sentence with a colon or a signal phrase and a comma. The author claims, comma, or the author makes a really important point. colon. Remember, the first sentence of your précis, if it's done according to proper sentence structure, format, and punctuation, can be used to set up your quotes. Copy the first sentence from your précis, put a colon after it, and now you're framing your quote, as it says on page 445 and 446. If you just have a sentence with a period before your quote, it's a dropped or floating quotation. Make sure you set up and frame your quotes. Second thing, make sure you cite them correctly. Last name, comma, page or paragraph number. Now, we've been over this, right? However, for those of you, pages 470 to 471 give you examples of citing by the author's last name and paragraph number. Remember, if there's no author listed, cite by the title of the document in quotes. Last but not least, works cited entries. Page 477 shows you how to do an electronic document. Follow the guidelines on page 477, the guideline number 31. And for any essay that you quote from and you want to cite in your works cited from this book on page 473, follow the guidelines on number 8. Most importantly, if you have any questions about any of my email feedback, any of my Canvas inbox feedback, any of my discussion feedback, call me. Right? I've had quite a few phone conversations with y'all, and I think that they're very helpful. Remember, I am available via Canvas, email, but you can call me. If you want to FaceTime, we can FaceTime. The important thing is that I am here. If you have any questions, after watching the videos, after participating in the discussions, after doing the reading summaries, after doing the précis, after getting feedback from all that, call me. I'm happy to share. And those of you that have called to discuss, we've had some discussions, right? Some are longer than others. Some is just a quick conversation. But again, that's what I'm here for. Think of my, office hour isn't just an hour. Whenever you need to chat, give me a call, shoot me a text, and we can make it happen. So hope we're feeling confident about essay 3, right? It's a causal analysis, just like the stereotyping essay. What are the causes and effects of stereotyping? Just like the essay on the environment and diet choices. What are the causes of global warming and environmental pollution? And what are the effects of eating meat on the environment? For this one, you're looking at surveillance, privacy. You're looking at effects. Do the effects of domestic surveillance violate our privacy, Bill of Rights, constitutional rights? Well, what caused the Patriot Act? What caused these changes in surveillance? 9/11 attacks. So again, you're looking at effects. So hopefully you're feeling confident about this essay. Just like you wrote about causes and effects in the first two, you're going to write about causes and effects in this one. Hopefully we'll focus on the causes and effects effectively to support our claims, to prove our carefully structured research is a well-developed academic argument. More to come. I'll be giving feedback on the essays for this week shortly in the next videos. But remember, I can't stress enough as we're moving towards the end of the semester. Call me if you have any questions. I hope you all are feeling confident, and if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Until next time.